What's up, guys? I'm here at the office today and I'm working on my team. I'm working on the operations of my company. Far too often we get busy, developing products and selling, and we're focused on the front end of our business, as I call it, where we're actually pushing product, we're driving revenue, and we're doing a good job of that. But then do we spend enough time focusing on how we're delivering that product to our customers? How do we make sure that it's as smooth and as streamlined as possible to make sure that we're meeting customer expectations, or better yet, exceeding customer expectations? So that's what I'm doing today. So I thought I'd do a quick business tip for you guys on operational efficiency. And I've got 5 tips for you. So I'm going to share them with you now. Here we go. Number 1, think the customer first. That will guarantee that your process is always in line with the customer needs and expectations. Far too often we create steps and processes and all these different things that really detract us or get our mind off of. We're only doing this to make the customer experience better. There's no point in putting a step or a process or anything in place within your organization if it delays the product, if it delays the service. It's got to be smooth, it's got to be genuine, and the customer's got to enjoy it. So keep that in mind. Number 2, streamline customer communication. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, in order to streamline the communication, the delivery from the time you sell it to the time you deliver the product or service, you need to know what the communication path is. And so I encourage you to get a sheet of paper or get a large whiteboard. And I do this all the time with every new company that I start, from step 1 to doing the initial client pitch, to we close the sale, to then every single step of communication that's going to be necessary to deliver the product to the customer. Every email that needs to go out, every phone call that needs to be made, every time a product needs to be pulled off the shelf, if it needs to be sent to a third-party manufacturer or assembly, how can you shorten the amount of time it takes to deliver? How can you improve touch points in communication? If you can create boilerplate emails, scripts for calling the client, anything you can do within that process to make it as smooth and easy as possible for your employees to implement that communication process will definitely help. So do that. Take out a sheet of paper and write it down step by step, and look for ways to streamline the delivery process for the customer from the beginning of the relationship to the very end. Step 3 is train your team in this process. Far too many times I'll run into businesses and I'm doing some consulting and they've got all these manuals, they've got all this stuff and all this plan and step by step everything that they need to do. And then when I go around and I talk with the employees and I ask them about this process, they kind of scratch their head and they're like, well, we kind of do this, we kind of do that, but they don't know the process the way that they should. And so the way to get around that is have a lot of training. I know it sounds simple, but so many of us don't do it. I know it. I'm guilty of it myself. I try to do it as often as I can, but it's tough. That streamlined communication path that we just talked about, do all of the employees from the receptionist to the president of the company understand that process and agree with it? So look at how you can do this on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. You need to be doing ongoing, consistent training with your team to make sure that they understand it. If you just give an employee a handbook and expect them to learn it on their own and be able to implement it 100%, you're going to be let down every time. So train the team constantly. Number 4, a big one for me has always been assess your vendor and partner relationships. This is really crucial. Now, anytime you outsource something or another group outside of your organization is helping with the delivery of a product or service to your customer, there's gonna be issues, there's gonna be delays. Go look at each one of those relationships. Make sure that they're on the same page with you guys as far as culture and understanding of the service that you're promising to the customer, so that they know what your expectations are and that they're more likely to hit them. Then take that streamlined process that we talked about in the previous step, make sure they understand what all the steps of communication are with your customers so that they can be a part of that. They understand that, hey, after you get it back, you've got 14 more steps to go through, and so this is why you're asking for them to give it to you in a certain way. So assess those vendor and partner relationships, make sure they're like-minded, they're of the culture, and look and educate them for ways that they can integrate themselves more smoothly so that the customer relationship's better. And number 5, really one of the most important I've seen personally in all of my organizations is retaining your team. This sounds simple enough, but really what it's about is keeping a team together for as long as you can. And I don't mean keep employees around who aren't any good. By all means, if they're not the right fit, they need to go and you need to get somebody else in that seat. But once you've got good talent, you've got the right people in the right seats, you want to make sure that you hang on to them as best as you can. The best analogy I can give you is like a band, right? They play the same song for years. And the more they play together, the more they get to know each other. They're so in sync. They know when the lead singer looks back that it means we're going to go one more loop, because they can just look at each other. They almost read each other's minds. And that's what makes a powerful band, and that's what can make a powerful, powerful team. So keep them together as long as you can. Get rid of the bad apples. I'm not saying, hang on to people who don't need to be there, but when you got a good team, they're solid, they're getting trained, they understand the process together, and they do this for several years, year in, year out, they're going to become so smooth, and that customer satisfaction is going to increase, I guarantee you. I hope these tips help you for operational efficiency. We got a lot more stuff like this to come. Tell me where I'm right, tell me where I'm wrong, I don't care. I hope you guys like this. Comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Thanks so much for your support. I'll see you out there.